Think of Queensland's Gold Coast and you'll undoubtedly be drawn to the razzle-dazzle of the theme parks and surfers, but there's a natural scenic beauty about the Gold Coast that is sometimes overlooked, and it's that aspect, the nature and natural wonders of the Gold Coast, that we're about to feature in this episode of Travel Oz. G'day, welcome, I'm Greg Granger.
They're jogging, they're exercising, they're out on the water. What they're all doing is enjoying the abundant beauty of the Gold Coast. Ahead, we'll take you on a trip of nature-bound experiences from the coast to the hinterland. Abundant wildlife. Plus Keith Potger of the Seekers performs. And high action at a top health retreat. Burleigh Heads. We're starting our pursuit of Gold Coast nature experiences right here. And the man who's going to show that to us is my good friend Al Mucci, a renowned wildlife and nature expert. Sharing the experience today, his son Lex and my son Chuck.
So, well, it's nature up here in the Gold Coast.
Absolutely, and after a brisk walk like that, up a hill, not too onerous, you know, you get this magnificent view, a cool breeze to dampen the humidity that occurs on the Gold Coast on occasions, and you see wildlife, birds, dolphins a few seconds ago.
Yes.
It's just amazing. What a great place to live, work, and breathe the beautiful air of the Gold Coast.
So well, we think of the Gold Coast, all the publicity is given to the razzle-dazzle of the theme parks and surfers, but there's a whole other side to the Goldie.
Here we are on beautiful beaches, we've got the bush, these views, then we go up to the Lamington National Park, Coomera Conservation Area. It's just brilliant, and all these things are free. Like, they're there for easy accessible, and they're nice family-orientated walks that you can keep your family healthy and enjoy what nature has to offer.
On the Burleigh Heads track, we spot the first of our wildlife encounters, then meet up with a traditional custodian of the Yugambeh language people, Rory O'Connor.
Rory. G'day.
Traditional Aboriginal welcome.
Welcome to this country, and to be here, you have to have an adornment that comes from my great-great-grandfather. So I'm an Australian, I'm Aboriginal, and I have been entrusted with the stories of this region to pass on to the next generations. And that's not just Aboriginal people, it's non-Aboriginal people who now live in this country. And this space here sees about 450,000 visitors a year as a national park.
Rory goes on to show me an historic Aboriginal midden.
So Greg, a shell mound is actually a snapshot of traditional life. And this shell mound extends for several hundred metres.
And it's deep.
It's quite deep, and we've tested it to 5,000 years, but it's probably much older. But the piece we tested was 5,000 years at least. All the shells you'll find here are represented through here, and this is what people feasted on.
On the western edge of Burleigh Heads, Rory takes me to an Indigenous cultural centre known as Jelligal.
So Greg, Jelligal is a fantastic place for our community. We tell our stories through these exhibitions that I curated some time ago, and also our artists can share their products.
You've got heritage here.
Granny Graham, my great-grandmother, her story is told here, and everyone on the coast knows her because she's born in the 1850s, she died in 1940s, and she's the grandmother for so many of us.
moving on to a big nature reserve on the northern outskirts of the Gold Coast with a thick forest of paperback trees.
Next place, the Coomera Reserve.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Coomera Conservation Reserve is 15 minutes out of the centre of Surfers Paradise.
So we're surrounded by populated areas?
Absolutely. And 1,000 hectares of beautiful bushland. It's a Ramsar wetland site. It's internationally renowned, but not many people know about it.
Among the prolific wildlife here, there's a big population of eastern grey kangaroos.
We've got a beautiful old girl here.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's been here for a few years, that's for sure.
And not spooked by us.
No, she's...
Curious, inquisitive.
Yeah, and look, it's a great spot. You can see she's come out of the woods, or the paperbark forest, and now she's starting to graze on the green pick that's coming up on the grass.
And so you'll get hundreds of these eastern grey kangaroos emerge from the forest here?
They've got the life of luxury here in Coomera Conservation Reserve. They sleep under the trees during the day, and they come out at night to party and graze and feast and do what kangaroos do during the night.
Walking on, there's a well-camouflaged lizard.
A bearded dragon?
Bearded dragon, absolutely.
Look at that beard.
Yeah, camouflaged.
So I almost stepped on him.
Yeah.
And now you spotted him.
Yep.
You got eagle eyes, mate.
He spread himself out.
Al's intention is to move it to a safer place.
And time to release.
Yeah. So we'll put him down here.
Yep.
And hopefully he'll go straight up the tree. There we go.
There's also a number of koalas. This one's slumbering peacefully. That is until Al gives it a wake-up call.
And Al...
Oh, it's having a bit of a snooze. I can't tell.
You can make koala noises, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
And it turns its head.
Yeah, look at that.
Looking for another koala.
Yeah, well, it's just hearing the noise. It's the sound they make, so the bellowing sound. And it's like, oh, hang on, this is my tree. Who are you? You know?
From Coomera, we're heading way west into the Gold Coast hinterland.
We've left the coast. 1.5 hours inland, up into the mountains. We're in the World Heritage listed Lamington National Park. Beautiful, thick Antarctic beech trees all around us here. There's a whole pile of wildlife, bird life, some very special treats up here, heading for a place called O'Reilly's Guest House.
The Lamington National Park is a place of exceptional ecological importance and natural beauty, with extensive walking trails along the McPherson Range. There's even a treetop walk high into the canopy in O'Reilly's.
And now up into the treetops.
Absolutely. How beautiful is this? You know, this is one of my favourite places west of the Gold Coast, where you get into this prehistoric Gwandaland rainforest, where, you know, some of these trees, like the Antarctic beech, are thousands of years old. You know, it's just amazing that forest like this has been maintained and sustained for so many hundreds of years and thousands of years.
As for the strangler figs, the tree that it once wrapped itself around has died and decayed, leaving a perfectly hollowed out hiding place. O'Reilly's is also the scene of one of Australia's greatest aviation rescue stories. This replica of a Stinson trimotor is a reminder of the 1937 plane crash in the thick rainforest south of here, where 2 pilots and 2 passengers died. But miraculously, 2 passengers survived, found by Bernard O'Reilly after trekking for 36 hours. These days, Matt Kelly treks into and out of the crash site in a day, leading hardened trekkers.
Hello, Matt.
G'day.
The Stinson, one of the greatest aviation rescue stories in Australian history.
Exactly, it's an incredible story.
So we had Bernard O'Reilly set out from here, spent a day and a half tracking down the wreckage of that plane, 4 killed, 3 rescued, and he did it in a day and a half. You do it in 12 hours, and you do it so often.
It's a pretty amazing experience, and it's a tough old day out there, but well worth it. There's not much of the wreckage itself left. There's a bit of a grave there and a plaque in memorial of that site, and just to see the terrain and where those men sat for all those days is quite a moving experience, I would say. Yeah.
One big crowd pleaser, the birds. Wild king parrots eager for hand feeding. Or a colourful collection of feathered friends being shown here today by birdman Mark Cullen.
The O'Reilly Birdman.
Well,
And who have you got here?
this is Des, our male wedge-tailed, well, one of our male wedge-tailed eagles.
Now, these birds are the 4th largest in the world.
Correct.
And you've got a range of birds here. What have you got for us?
Well, there's also a sea eagle, which aren't truly eagles, but we refer to them as an eagle. A lazy rowing motion. We generally include a couple of falcons, a couple of different owls. Welcome. Thank you.
So you've certainly got a rapport with your birds.
Oh, I'd like to think I have.
You like them, they seem to like you.
Yeah, well, I'm like a magic tree. I've just got treats all the time. Over the years, our show has actually morphed into the intimacy of it, just for the fact that people generally, when they see a bird, it's some distance away. Our birds can fly some distance too, but it's just another bird then. But when it's in front of them, at their feet, they can appreciate the colours, the shape, and things that they would otherwise have never had the chance to be aware of.
The Birds of Prey show at O'Reilly's, ending our time in this rainforest paradise. Well, one place that's totally in sync with nature is the Eden Health Retreat, and we're about to check that out. Just driving into the Gardens of Eden is a transformative experience. Rolling, lush green lawns, Shetland ponies over there. I can already feel myself relaxing. And there to greet me, Bibi, who has the special role of bringing joy to visitors. Eden, it feels like the Garden of Eden.
It absolutely is. Look at these greens.
So we're loving the arrival.
Yeah,
What's going to happen to me?
absolutely. Well, you're going to come and sink into relaxation immediately.
Yes.
Time ceases out here and you get an opportunity to connect with who you are. So it's a pretty special place.
As I understand it, people can do their own thing.
Yeah, so you're going to have a wellness program here that you get to pick and choose what you would like to do. We've also got all of our facilities. We have a pool, a spa, we have spa treatments as well, and we have an incredible, unique dining experience, and you get to meander and weave through all of that.
Guests here at Eden can stay between 3 to 7 days or even longer. Gorgeous grounds, and the accommodation, well, big, spacious cabins. One person can stay here or with their partner, but plenty of room, tranquility plus. At peace with the world, I prepare to experience the Eden Dining Fair, prepared by a team of top chefs with 4 meals a day. Meals at Eden are healthily organic, as head chef Ash testifies.
I always say to people it's not all about tofu and lentils and all that sort of stuff to be at a health retreat. There's a lot of thought put into the food, not around just the macros. We do little things like adding some medicinal pieces to food as well.
So we're looking at a very healthy fish here. What,
yes,
barramundi?
it is barramundi, yes, absolutely.
Barra salad.
People are out of their comfort zone at Eden slightly with the food. Having a whole full team of chefs cook for you, that's usually out of their comfort zone. So we try to make it as nice and playful as possible, and super tasty as well, which is great.
After a swim and spa, I head for a massage, all very relaxing. And all activities are all-inclusive and optional. But how could I not enjoy Eden's yoga sessions? 8 different activities are on offer here. And later, an optional activity that takes me right out of my comfort zone. Kane Hayward has a very special activity.
Kane, what's happening?
Greg, we're about to take you on a little ride, a little bit of an adventure activity.
Known as
The Valley Swing.
the Valley Swing achieves what?
The valley achieves lots of things, but one of those things is to really push you outside that comfort zone.
Yeah.
Get you back to being a kid, having some fun again, but just on a giant scale.
How high we going?
Well, mate, once we pull you up to the back there, I reckon we're probably getting you up about 11 metres up, which is a nice view over the valley.
Wow, I'm up for it. Oh, whoa! Wow, that's high.
Challenging, exhilarating, all part of my stay at the Eden Health Retreat.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, Greg, it was an absolute pleasure to have you coming
Oh,
up.
the hug.
At Eden, we always hug. It was an absolute joy having you here.
And I'm feeling the joy.
Back on the coast, I'm meeting up with one of the members of the legendary Seekers, Keith Potger. Now, he's performing here on the Gold Coast for a fundraising concert for a cause known as Animal Action Day for Aussie wildlife.
Keith, so wonderful to watch you perform here today.
Well, it was my pleasure. It's a wonderful event.
You've been singing for a few years now,
I have indeed.
and so you started professionally. When would we first see you on stage?
Oh, it was when I was still at school. As part of my group, the Trinamics in those days, we did a Channel 7 program called Stairway to the Stars. Now, that was my first.
And you teamed up with a schoolmate, Athol Guy.
Yeah, indeed, eventually. And
it grew and grew and grew.
Grow and grow. And
I still need you there beside me, no matter what I do. For I know I'll never find another you.
What a phenomenon you've lived through.
well, that's right, because Athol and I have been singing together since 1959. It's really quite extraordinary, and he and I, well, we all keep in touch regularly.
So we're watching you sing here today. You're still singing the Seeker songs.
Yeah, and others.
Just tremendous to see you bring or keep the spirit of the Seeker still alive.
Well, it's not only me that's keeping the Seekers alive, it's the audience as well, because they know the words so well as well. You know, they really enjoy it, and I enjoy the feedback from the audience as well. It's always been the same, Greg.
We'll build a world of our own that no one else can share. All our sorrows we leave far behind us there, and I know you will find there'll be peace of mind.
My favourite is The Carnival Is Over, but I don't sing that generally as a solo artist, because I generally like to think that was Judith's lead song.
Yes.
But it certainly is one of my favourites. But I love all the Seekers songs because they're such good songs for a start.
Yes.
And our versions of them, you know, give me the involvement over the years that brought those songs to life in their own little way. We used to do covers of some Bob Dylan and that sort of thing, but most of the songs that we did, we made our own, and that was really, I think, one of the reasons that people embraced the Seekers to the extent that they did.
Find the answers, we may stumble, never crumble, face tomorrow, everyone.
So Keith, you've lived the life. You're living the life.
Oh, absolutely. As Chad Morgan said, I'm not dead yet.
And so you're moving through different stages in your life. Seekers, well, and pre-Seekers, you were singing solo, and then various groups of Seekers, and now you're a solo, wandering minstrel.
Yeah, I'm definitely a wandering minstrel. I wander all over the place. Sometimes I remember how to get back.
What's ahead, Keith? What's ahead?
Well, my lovely partner Elizabeth Hawkes and I produce shows in Braidwood, and we've got some presentations coming up with some local artists and indeed international artists. Steve Kilby in February. We've had people like Eric Bogle, Shane Howard from Goanna. All sorts of wonderful performers at our wonderful National Theatre in Braidwood.
And I know you will find there'll be peace of mind when we live in a world of our own. Whoa! Thank you very much to all involved. And please give generously.
Another day, another venue. This time, the Imperial Hotel, formerly known as the Palazzo Versace, where other entertainers are singing for the Animal Action Cause. Singers like Lisa Malvine. The forecourt of the Imperial is like a movie set. Rolls Royces and aspiring models abound. And at the back, the many pools attract eager swimmers. But it's the 36 beaches of the Gold Coast that woo the dedicated water lovers. From dawn to dusk, those beaches are abuzz. Right now, though, we're heading back into the hinterland for a distinctly different lifestyle offering.
We're at Australia's largest ecotourism retreat, set here in the hinterland of the Gold Coast, high up in the mountains. Now, they promise a complete reset of mind and body here at Gwandaland.
It's a wellness destination that aims to soothe your soul and inspire you to live a healthier life. Deb Munster has certainly been inspired. She's the general manager who's been here for 8 years.
You've got a pretty special place here, Gwandaland.
It's absolutely stunning, set on over 200 hectares of pristine Queensland hinterland.
So what sets you apart from other health retreats?
We're the largest in the Southern Hemisphere. We have the largest team of wellness experts and practitioners. There's a large focus on emotional well-being here as well, so it's not just all about spa.
All of these things are meant to achieve what?
People don't think a health retreat can be fun, but from salsa dancing to kickboxing to deep water running, so it's fun. And it's a complete reset. So we take away all the distractions, we take away your schedules, we actually make most of the decisions actually for you. So it's really a time where you can switch off, slow down, reset, and just restore.
As for the rooms, they're spacious. Many even have their own plunge pool. But it's the healthy meals at Gwandaland that are a standout feature, with Justin Addy, the head chef.
Justin looking incredibly healthy.
Right? Straight from the garden. This was in the ground this morning. Gardeners picked it out, washed it in the kitchen, straight onto the plate for us at lunch.
So what is your philosophy when it comes to healthy food?
You'll hear a lot around at Gwandaland about slow, right? Slow breaths, slow breathing, slow down. We try to use that in the kitchen. Obviously, you don't want a slow chef. That's not a great idea. But I break it up into an acronym. So we've got seasonal, local, organic, and whole. So this is a snapper escabeche. It's a nice light fish, so it really takes on the sweet and sour from the escabeche. Again, all this, the fennel, capsicum, carrot, and zucchini is all straight from our garden. And then on my side, I've got this chicken mole, which is a Mexican dish, actually. And this sauce is actually made from pepitas. Yeah, sure, I've been around the world, I think. I've been chefing for 18 years. I've started in Canada, made my way to Germany, and then in New Zealand, and then now that I'm here, I really came to Gwandaland and learned a lot. I actually started in the garden and learned how to mash those flavors together. And then the nutritional side, obviously, I'm always attending seminars and getting really into that, what actually is the detoxification and how we're going and what pairs well with each other.
Let's savour this.
Absolutely.
Gwandaland's recipes are so well received by guests, the retreat has published a new cookbook.
Just play around with the range to start with and then stand up. Continue to do that for me here. And as we go back, I want you to push your butt back.
There's a diverse range of healthy activities too for guests, with Lucy Francis in charge of the exercise program.
So Lucy, you're in charge of all the physical activities here?
Yeah, you could say that. As program manager, we look after the guest experience here at Gwandaland. So we start the day with them at 6 a.m. And we run a session called Qigong.
Yes.
And then they continue with activities throughout the day, all the way through to lunchtime.
So the idea being to keep your guests physically active?
Yes, yeah, but that could mean a yoga session. It doesn't necessarily have to mean an upbeat boxing session. We offer yin and yang activities, and the yin being more nurturing or energy restoring.
Yes.
The yang being the opposite, more sort of high energy demanding. And it depends on how you're feeling on the day. Some of our guests have had pretty lethargic lives. They need to get their body moving. Other guests have been a bit full on and they actually just need to restore. So it depends on how they're feeling.
So we're looking at you being very physical with this group this morning. You're walking?
Yep, we always do a bushwalk. We offer a couple of bushwalks in the morning. We run a program throughout the morning that is completely voluntary. You partake in as much or as little as you like, again, depending on how you feel and what's really needed for your health and well-being. And just control.
Among Gwangana's many awards, they're especially proud of having won Luxury Travel Magazine's Gold List Award for Best Wellness Spa. Certainly there's a healthy endorsement from guests here.
You've been here many times?
Yes, we've sort of lost count. Possibly 12, I think, is the amount of times we've been here.
12 times. What's the attraction?
Oh, it's just the opportunity to really zone out, chill out and sort of switch off from the real world for a little period.
The thing that really attracts me is really the chance to reset, eat great food, have some fabulous treatments, go for wonderful walks.
After one of your 5-day stays, how do you feel?
I feel terrific, and people say to me the whites of my eyes look whiter, my skin looks glowing, and I look really calm and happy.
The multi-award-winning Gwangana Lifestyle Retreat, Gold Coast Hinterland Bliss. Right now, we're going to leave the Gold Coast to explore a bit further down Australia's east coast, starting with the Jacaranda Festival in Grafton.
Such a beautiful flowering lilac tree, the jacaranda, and the streets of Grafton, northern New South Wales, are teeming with them. It's jacaranda time. The Jacaranda Festival is on. Let's check it out.
Of all of Grafton's splendours, the Jacaranda Festival is the pinnacle, with Mark Blackadder, the organiser.
I notice you're wearing the purple or lilac hat, likewise with the shirt. It's all that's the colours all again.
It is. The whole town turns purple for this 10 days, and even the season, which runs from the 20th of October to the 10th of November. The Jacaranda Festival is a 10-day event running every year from the last weekend of October to the first weekend of November, and we had 35 events this year across that 10-day period.
Grafton by night is pure purple delight. Buildings aglow in lilac livery. And best of all, the jacaranda trees around Sea Park are illuminated. We have to thank a local seed merchant, Henry Volkers, for the hundreds of jacaranda trees he planted in the late 19th century. There's a series of concerts around town with big names like Troy Cassadaly singing his heart out.
Take a step away from the daily grind. Come and get a little sunshine.
Daytime sees markets and street stalls. Grafton's festival has certainly grown since the first one 90 years ago. There's fashion shows and dances. And parades aplenty. Locals and tourists can hoof it on foot or take their classic cars through jacaranda-lined streets. If Grafton's locals have any energy left, there's even a colour run. One of the crowning climaxes of the Jacaranda Festival is the naming of the Jacaranda King or Queen. Plenty of queens before him, but this year it's a king.
Now, how does that feel? The crown, the cape, the rod.
It's pretty impressive. I'm pretty lucky to be here. The festival so far has been absolutely amazing. The people that have come out and that we've been able to meet, it's really, really cool.
So what are the tasks? What do you do?
We're pretty well the face of the festival. So between myself and the rest of the Royal Party, we get out and about. We attend as many events as we can. I think we've got between 50 and 60 events to attend over the entire festival. Get out and about and sort of advocate for Grafton and for this great event.
On the last weekend, there's an even bigger parade. They've spent months building these fancy floats, and what a display they are.
On the second Saturday, we have the incredible float procession, and it has everyone involved, including businesses, and the community spirit is out with all the community organisations.
All of this is taking place alongside the mighty Clarence River, the largest river on the eastern seaboard. They've just completed a waterfront precinct here, a family-friendly hub for visitors and locals. Over the Clarence River, there's a protected 23-hectare nature reserve on Susan Island. While in town, one can enjoy the Heritage Trail with its famous bendy bridge, built in 1915, and its glorious historic buildings. Finally, there's Grafton's Regional Gallery, with its director Sarah Gourich showing me around the Mary Claire photo shoot known as Purple Rain. Keeping in the Jacaranda theme are the ice creams.
Well, now to the Jacaranda Festival, seems like everything in Grafton at this time of the year is coloured lilac, like their ice creams.
Grafton and its Jacaranda Festival, a colourful experience.